Okay, you call roll, please.
Yes. Alderman Solberg.
Here.
Wilson. Here. Manley.
Here.
Schubert. Here. Richard.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
All present.
Good. First item is consideration vote to approve the minutes of April 27th regular meeting. And with corrections.
I'll make that motion with the corrections been done.
Motion by Jim,
Oh, second.
second by Lisa. Any questions or comments? Okay, you call roll, please.
Alderman Manley.
Yes.
Wilson. Yes. Solberg.
Here.
Schubert.
Yes.
Richard.
Abstain.
Franklin.
Yes.
I forgot. Motion passed.
Thank you. Next item is consideration vote to approve the payment of the village treasurer's report. John?
I move that we pay bills in the amount of $70,090.72.
Okay. Motion by John. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Second by Jim. Questions or comments? If none, will you call roll, please?
Alderman Franklin.
Yes.
Manley.
Yes.
Solberg.
Yes.
Wilson. Yes. Schubert.
Yes.
Richard.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Public input, I don't think there's anybody. We have no old business, new business, discussion only, the 2026-27 fiscal year budget. I'll turn it over to John, and first I want to thank him for streamlining this and making it a little easier to read for everybody, so.
That was a goal, so everybody should have gotten that. What I've tried to do is break it down by department, so on that spreadsheet, there's a tab for each department or fund. And so you go through the government TIF, water, sewer, Main Street, motor fuel, and then the general fund, which includes emergency management, police, street, one other. So I guess this is kind of, and then the admin is in that budget too. So if you look at each department, I guess really try and focus on the amounts proposed for the coming year, because some of the previous years, you get some pretty big swings if we've had to buy a piece of equipment or for some reason something didn't get coded right. So it's not this nice, linear, each year is kind of the same, a little increase, or there can be some decent swings. So try and focus really on the 26-27 budget. I guess, I tried to lay it out so it's a little easier to read. There's still a lot of numbers in there. Some of the accounts, sometimes a little bit cryptic when you go and look in there and say, okay, what really goes into that account? We're not voting on this tonight, so, ask any questions now, or you can follow up with questions, and then we'll try and have the final one to hopefully vote on in 2 weeks. But, go ahead, Kathy.
I have a question, of course. Page 7, the intergovernmental byway, what is that?
That is,
Constitution draft?
yeah, that is the agreement we've had with the county. Every community along Route 66, when they have a project, we have to pay our portion of it. So we put it in there every year. Some years we don't need it, some years we do. And I think this year it'll probably be geared toward what's the improvements they're making out there now. But usually it goes for engineering fees so we'll see that being spent over the next several years as we get closer to connecting Tawanda through Lexington on the bike trail.
Okay.
That agreement was back in Frank's day was made, I think.
Which we still don't have, we have no representation on that board or anything.
Well, kind of, I mean, I don't think we've ever disagreed. Well, we have disagreed because everything we thought was going to Road. But now that they're gearing toward getting this paved in here, I think, there's been some disagreements, but most of all, I'm good with it.
Thank you.
Any more? There's a lot of numbers in there.
There is. I'm still looking.
Yeah, and again, you know, some of those accounts are obvious, some of them don't necessarily make sense, and there's some things in there like, we don't budget every year for a new vehicle, and maybe we should be putting it in the budget to show that we're saving, but we do have, balances in all those accounts to cover, like if we need a new squad car or pickup truck, even though it may not show up in this budget this year, there is kind of an allowance for it, that we have money that we've accumulated over previous years to be able to buy replacement vehicles. So it may look like lower this year and next year, there may be a $60,000 squad car in there or something, I don't know. And that's why it's a little bit hard sometimes to compare year to year. Okay, all right.
We got one quick one. You got water fund, you got sewer fund, and I don't see a street in here.
The street is under the general fund, so it's funded by kind of the general revenue from the city, property tax, income tax, sales tax. And so,
Because before all that was, that was separate in the previous years, I thought.
it might have been, I mean, all the expenses are listed for the street department in that last tab that says general fund at the end of the
Okay.
spreadsheet.
Page
Yeah, the print, I guess it's page 9, so, but they're, in general funded by the general revenue of the city. And so, you may say, well, the general fund has a negative balance, well, but the water and sewer both have a positive, so they're not necessarily required to stand on their own. I mean, we can transfer money, it's still part of the city, so.
I kind of understand it because the water and the sewer brings money in.
Yeah, right.
And technically, the street's
Yeah,
not.
we don't have toll roads in Lexington to fund
Right.
the streets.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that motor fuel
Yeah.
fund is another one that's kind of a little hard to understand because we have to, at the beginning of the year, our fiscal year, send a report to the state of how we want to spend the motor fuel, and so you have to have some projects. And so, like, if we're gonna do, a street project around the fire department on Benson and Chestnut, thank you, that area, some of that'll be paid out of our general fund. I think some of it's motor fuel. There's also some called road and bridges. So they're a little bit, you kind of shift them around as you need them, but the motor fuel, you have to kind of put in, what do you want to spend it? But again, there's a kind of an increasing fund because we try not to spend everything in that because at some point you have to do Main Street and it's going to be really expensive. So you can't say, well, we're going to spend our 50 grand every year, and then one year it's, $300,000 to do Main Street. So you spend some of it and save some of it.
Thank you.
So when you say Main Street, are you talking about the beautification? Are you talking
No, about the
road
actual
itself?
street itself.
Maybe,
I thought the county owned
Well, only up to west.
That's the west.
They're only
it.
up to
So
West
we
Street.
maintain it.
The truck route, yeah, turns on west and it goes down South Street. That's county, but from the West Street on east, it's ours.
So while we're speaking about motor fuel, one of the things we've discovered over the years, and those that's been around, Mike could attest to this too, that, whenever we involve motor fuel, everything has to be engineered, and that drives the cost up. So we try to do more and more out of the general fund. We reserve motor fuel for the big projects, but we try to do more and more, because we can do 2 blocks out of general fund, and if we went through motor fuel, we'd probably get a block and a half. That's how, because the engineers have to get involved, and it just,
It also then makes the bigger jobs more affordable because the engineering is a smaller percentage of the bigger job than they would be on a small job. So you can take the engineering and spread it over, 4 blocks or something like that.
Yeah, it's about 3-2. We get 3 blocks with our money versus 2. And the same people are doing all the work, which is
Oops.
engineering.
Spencer's been talking about replacing the drainage tiles. Is that in here, or is that
That is not in
something we
here.
can start putting away?
Yeah, and we've got a decent balance, so I'll try and get those numbers together to share to everybody. And at this point, that's, at the beginning, it's probably just a feasibility study to find out, is that, what does that involve? Is that $1 million project? Is it, I don't know. So I think it's definitely a multi-year project. You don't want to tear the whole town up at once. But
yeah, and I think, like John said, let's do a feasibility study and spend that money on that, and then, because it's gonna have to be a grant. We're gonna have to find a grant that's gonna come out and pay for it. And if we have our homework done, so all you need to apply for a grant and have to go back and say, well, what's it gonna cost to run 4 miles of this tile or something like that, so. We've already started some work on it. We know where the problem areas are and we know how to address them, we just haven't got it down on paper yet.
Well, Down's got a $2.1 million grant, right? I saw that in the paper for downtown beautification.
Yeah.
Somebody's slipping around here.
Money available somehow, I guess, to hook up.
Well, when you say that, look at everybody around the room. You say somebody said was looking at it.
Everybody did, learn to write a grant.
I know how to write them, thank you.
Oh, here we go, volunteer.
Right.
Did we address anything with salaries in here?
We, not specifically, we still have to decide on that. It's kind of built in a little bit, but no numbers really decided.
Well, I think this is a lot easier to understand and I'm moving forward.
Yes.
As long as we keep things coded correctly, I think that's coming along pretty good, so I think we're in good shape.
I have another question, sorry.
No, there's lots of stuff there, so that's good.
Under Main Street Fund, it shows the cannabis, MS cannabis tax, and then a liquor license, MS. Is that money from the state?
The liquor license is collected locally, the cannabis is from the state. Any revenue that the state of Illinois makes, we get a percentage of.
So if they get a liquor license in town, it's so much per year, or it's?
Yeah, it's usually $1,000 to $1,200 a year. And then there's the fee for the gaming machines as well.
And you have to have a liquor license, they have gaming machines.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah, that's the list of the state of Illinois. They put two diseases together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get them drunk so they
Yeah.
spend more.
But I think the cannabis and the gambling both they're not based on what is spent locally. It's, I believe that's true.
that's the state, yeah, the
Yeah,
cannabis is
state
statewide.
means
I
all
don't have
all
any
the
cannabis in
cannabis.
town,
No.
maybe.
Oh, no, we have cannabis in town.
We do
Not
not.
for sale. Not a store.
I don't have any on.
It's for
I
sale.
don't have any on me right now.
But not a store. No facility.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I think,
Did this format help, or is it still just a bunch of numbers?
Well, I've never seen it before, but it helped me. I mean, I already listed them on this thing.
Right.
I don't know what it stands for, then I know what it's for.
so what this allows us to do is the section heads, the water department, street department, police department, can get a monthly report of where they're at with their budget. So they can look and see if something's been miscoded, they know how much they've got. It's like balancing your checkbook at the end of the month, they'll know what they've got, and we should know what they have.
Yes.
And speaking of the coding, we're being more strict on making sure everything is coded before any bills are paid. Somebody has to apply the right code on there, whether it's going through a phone or a repair or equipment or anything. It has to have the account, the 7-digit account code on there. Because that'll help us track it. So then when you do have this, the first month, they say, okay, you spent, 10% of your budget or 20 or whatever. You gotta keep track during the year where you are on this line item.
So each account has a certain number,
We used to get those,
like I do with that every day. You
Yeah,
know, you have a fund has a number and your account, whatever it's for, has a number.
I mean, that's, the account numbers are on this spreadsheet.
On this number here on the expenses. So when a bill comes in, if it's for Tim, I'm not gonna look his up. He's got to come in, he's got to code it where he wants that money. If it's a uniform, he codes it under uniforms. And then Katie, is not supposed to write a check out until it's coded and signed by, whoever's in charge. So, yeah, so that's how we keep track of everything.
Thank you. John, page 7, under the bikeway, 111162, we got 15,000 for building maintenance. Which building? I just looked at it, it's a 300% increase. I'm like, whoa. 162.
Yeah. Well, that's a 300% increase because,
Well, because it was 4,000 and now.
So that's this building, all the buildings we own. But
Okay.
we gotta fix this concrete back here.
But if you look at the number next to it, the 16,216, when we cut off the headers on these things, that was what was spent last year. So it's over the previous budget, but it's really a slight increase from what we actually spent. So we either didn't anticipate what we had, we didn't anticipate a repair that we had to do, like digging out the concrete in the shop area or something like
Right.
that, so.
I just did,
And I think we're trying to be careful too, to say just because something, a number is put in there, doesn't mean go out and spend that. I mean, I think everybody's pretty good about saying, we're putting this in as kind of a placeholder to make sure that we kind of know that we've got enough money, but in most cases, I don't know that we'd anticipate spending everything in here, so.
And that's one thing
That makes sense.
our guys have never done since I've been mayor, is not at the end of the fiscal year, look at their budget and say, I've got money to spend, we're gonna go out and buy something.
Yeah,
They don't do that.
that's a danger of budgets, and so we've got, I think, like
Yeah.
Spencer says, a group of people that have the best interest of the city are not gonna go out and just. Because you get that mentality sometimes in budgeting that says, well, if I don't spend it, they'll take it away from me next year, and just waste it.
Yeah.
See that happen, Kathy?
Daily.
So it's possible that in the next 2 weeks, there might be some tweaks on this, that we'll try and get it out in time for everybody to review, but then we can try to vote on this.
I thought it was looking in, the next meeting is Memorial Day.
We moved it to Tuesday.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay.
You voted on the calendar.
I gotta make sure I know.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
I think you voted yes.
You made the motion.
I had to move it myself.
But we've had people make a motion and vote no on it.
Yes, I have.
Anything can happen. So what I would suggest, and I don't want to step in on John, but I would probably suggest that next meeting, before we approve it, we go in, should probably close session, discuss the salaries and unless we want to set something up. I mean, between now.
No, I think, well, we do the homework, we gotta
Yeah.
probably do a closed session.
All of the contracts working stuff. Right, and it's in the money next week.
All right.
Thank you.
Anybody got anything else?
Bless you, Jim.
Fantastic.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
And help from Joe, and a lot of help from Star, and all the guys for help too.
okay, moving on to committee reports, mayor's report. I've got a letter I'm gonna pass out. That just, deal with personnel, I'll pass it out. At the end of the meeting, you guys can take it home and review it. Committee assignments. I'm still leaning toward, and I want to check with the attorney, I want to get you guys kind of feedback. But every year, I assign committee assignments, and we say we're gonna meet, and we never meet. So, well,
We need.
but I really don't even know that we need committees. I mean, everybody, we all decide as a council, we all work well together, and I think the committees is just, if we're not gonna have meetings, why have the only committees we really need is, like the liquor commission, stuff like that, but the police committee, the street committee, it just seems like the only time there's a meeting is when something's wrong.
Yeah.
And we're all gonna address it as a council anyway,
Is there, can you assign one person just to be
as
the?
the contact. person.
Yeah, just contact person, yeah.
But, I've been after this for 10 years trying to get more committee meetings. We said we were gonna meet, twice a year, and that didn't happen, or once a year, and that didn't happen. So, and I realize everybody's busy, and so I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm just saying, it seems like a waste of time to have committees if we're not gonna meet.
It's really no different, and it's faster if you just have one person that can convey whatever they need to the council.
Yeah, or just have kind of ad hoc committees when
Yeah.
something comes up, because we can do it.
Red carpet, I think, was a pretty good success. We had good, I think, 185 at the picnic, which was normal compared to, what we had last year. I think the numbers were down possibly a little bit on the street Saturday because of the the weather and all the other towns having events and stuff, but I'm just happy with the turnout. I think everybody had fun, everybody, again, talking about how good Lexington looks, how good Main Street looks, the flowers and everything. So it just turned out good. Please, Mike?
So can I go back to one other thing
Yeah.
for, kind of under your area? Everybody saw that thing about that big boy locomotive that is gonna come through town. So I think we should have a big boy watch party.
Well,
So,
yeah, we talked about, I would like to get a food truck down there
yeah,
and even if we can get some bleachers from the
sure.
set up.
I was just making an event.
Yeah.
I think that thing is so cool. I'm not even a trained person. But
Yeah, they're not gonna stop, and maybe we'll get their attention enough where they'll slow down.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it'd be pretty, that's July, I'd have to look at the date.
17.
July 17th? Yeah. What day is that on, do you know?
I don't.
Is that a Friday?
But yeah, we'll work on that, but you know, we thought about getting a food truck down there, a couple of vendors and try to use.
Well, the parking lot's there,
Friday.
or Syrians, you know, kind of the back lot of Syrians. You can have lots of people.
Yeah.
You wanna make sure it's safe, but
Yeah.
they got that whole thing fenced in now. You can't get close to it anyway, so.
Cause I can't imagine that thing really picking up a lot of speed.
I don't know. It's 1.2 million pounds.
Yeah,
That's a lot of machine. Yeah.
yeah, good point. Please, Mike, did you have anything?
No.
Tim, you got anything?
I don't.
Nothing,
Building and insurance, Lisa?
nothing.
Okay. Finance and Jeff, John?
Nothing more than what we talked about.
Public Works, Mike?
No.
Okay. Seems like I'm missing something. But I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moving.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, ask me questions.
You want
I did.
one pass it on?
Gigi's gonna get it.
So the deal there is getting pictures.
Number one I'm talking about is, what's this?
This is a train, it's a steam powered train that was built in 1941.
Carol, that fan thing.
And it's
Oh, yeah.
got its final run.
Yeah.
It was built in New York and it spent its career hauling, taking out Wyoming and all of the mountains.
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah, we'll have to watch
There's been
it.
some things on Facebook and they've
I did
published some stuff.
So you get them to stop.
You Google Big Boy Local.
I haven't heard it, wait.
It'll
I sent the
show
mayor
you
one, but he didn't
schedules.
respond, he must not want to go.
It's the first time it's been east of Mississippi.
Well, you know,
I did too.
You know, this would be,
How
a
did
good-
you send it?
But
I sent him a text.
find a picture.
I don't read text.
this would be,
You do?
You do.
You send them all the time.
this would be.
Well, I send it, but I don't read them.
This would be a very good one for Rex to sponsor us for a team.
Yes.
Friday, I'm leaving the city.
Oh, the freshman.
We didn't say you could go.
Yeah.
So the
We
big
want money.
How much is it?
What's on the back?
But anyway, up in the steam out of it, and it's just chugging down.
If you sign up early, it's cheaper.
Is coming through.
July 17th, I don't know no idea what kind of date, I'm sure we'll know when we get close.
So when the Rockies they play too.
I think it's spending the night in Bloomington, so I'm gonna guess it's gonna come from Lexington later in the
Yeah, I
afternoon.
can see the whole house. Where's it cost us?
How many miles does it take? How far is it?
I don't know, it's kind of doing a tour, so it's not.
Those are just- I don't know what it's
one
on.
way.
Is this-
When it comes back from east to head back out to where it's
Like I said,
gonna retire, it comes to Chicago,
Yeah,
and then
scan
it comes
it.
down through here, and I think
Scan
it
it.
spends the night.
Get
in
your tickets.
Springfield.
Pretty sure it's like
Yeah,
700.
Yeah, that's why I didn't read it, because I had to scan it.
Yeah. Well, you actually said what it was on mine, but it's cheaper if you do it by the.
I'm not 100% sure if that, where it's going to actually be.
Oh, wait, let me turn
The
it.
turnaround stands by there.
I was taking my grandson picture.
Get that scar on there. It's just getting 14 cents.
Yeah, go Google Big Boy Locomotive, just so you see. It's, I don't think you have to be a big train enthusiast to just look at that thing and think,
It's my
that thing
phone.
is an impressive piece of
Even when I
equipment.
scan that, I don't see where it tells me how much it costs to play.
Well, let's ask.
I know it's cheaper on the.
All right, T. Joe.
See you, Joe. Thank you.
Hey, did you get Patty interested in auction? Okay.
680.
Just say
$680
Yeah,
you
you
do
see if
by-
I can go with you. That
That's
sounds fun.
early bird.
You go with Patty.
May 15.
Okay, just give me some.
And then it goes to 760, so it's $80 cheaper.
680 by when?